Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Investor Connection. Today, I am going over. Hello, everyone. All right. Hey, Clubhouse, if you want to have the discussion, come on, Clubhouse. But today, I'm discussing why and how could I help more people take advantage of cryptocurrency. Yesterday, I got a text message from somebody that's been listening to my videos, and they said they were thanking me because they made $5,000 since they've been watching my videos. And I said, a lot of people have been hitting me up like that, but not enough, right? I'm like, okay, so what is the reason not enough people are getting into cryptocurrency? I started to think about, and not just cryptocurrency, I guess maybe investing. And of course, I know we're living in a tough time financially for a lot of people, right? There's massive problems with business right now with the COVID thing, but there was a lot of money being given out over the past year. And of course, I know some people had to use that money to eat. A lot of people had to use that money just to survive. So using it for investment maybe is not a thing for everyone. But what I do just think about is the people that have funds to pay their bills or to, savings account, basically. Savings account now, when I look at what banks are doing versus and what the US dollar is doing versus what crypto is doing, it's pretty evident that it makes almost no sense to have savings money in a bank versus having it in a cryptocurrency market. Why is that? Of course, I'm not saying if you have money that you need to use next month, the month after that, but if you have money that you can afford to wait to use 6, 8, 12 months, it's pretty insane the amount of value that you can get in 6, 8 months. I believe this person that texted me, they started watching my videos the end of last year, and they started investing. Bitcoin alone, just Bitcoin, has at least 5x since then. That's just Bitcoin. Ethereum has probably 10x since then, right? Matic, Polygon, which is another one I have been telling people about, at least 10x, and then it went back down. So part of what I'm trying to get to is, okay, if you are still on the fence about investing, one, how can I help you more? How can I be more helpful to the journey that you're having? And I have some ideas. I'm going to present some ideas of things that I'm thinking of. But I want to make this an interactive conversation because I want to understand how to help more people do this. And I'm not saying put in thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm just saying what's going to make you start. When I first started, I put $50 into Bitcoin. That was the start of my path. Of course, over time, I got more understanding, and then I did something crazy. And even Paco, who's on the Clubhouse, said I'm crazy. I took out about $15,000 of my 401k and put it into cryptocurrency, right? Because I said my money being where it is no way. There's no way it's gonna do better than in crypto, and I was right. It about 4 or 5x. At one point, it was 6x, and now it came back down. Of course, there's ups and downs, though. That's one of the things I think slow people down. They look at the volatility and they think, I don't want to have my money there and worry about one day I have 100,000, next day I have 80,000, or one day I have 5,000, next day I have 4,000. But again, if you have a long enough term horizon of how you're looking at this, like I said, there hasn't been 1 year of cryptocurrency's existence that it hasn't grown at least 200%. So, of course, if you're watching it every day and you see it go up 3,000, down 2,000, you may think that. But how about your 401k? Do you look at your 401k every day and say, oh, man, my 401k is down $20,000? I think there's people have a different mindset to cryptocurrency that I'm really trying to figure out how to help more people take advantage of this, because every year that you don't invest in cryptocurrency, your multiples are going to be less. It's kind of like if we were in the 80s right now and I'm telling you, hey, there's these companies, Microsoft, Apple, you should probably invest in them. And you're like, oh, I don't know about this computer thing. I don't think it's going to really work out. And it's like, really, this is the future. You really don't think you should put at least a couple bucks, right? And that's the thing with cryptocurrency right now. If you look at dividend investors, I was thinking about this the other day. Dividend investors, there's people who live their entire lives off the dividends they make from their stocks. And those are people, though, that bought the stock much earlier than we are right now. So think about Apple. To make, I think I did the math one time. I think to make like $80,000 a year of Apple stock dividends, you have to have like $1 million worth of Apple stock. So if you think about that, all right, do you have $1 million to put in Apple stock right now to make $80,000 a year? No, most people would say that's not a great investment. But right now, if we look at the cryptocurrency landscape, the value of all these cryptocurrencies are fractions of what they will be. So that's why these people that now they can live off their dividends is because they bought it when it was a fraction of the cost now. They probably bought hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Apple stock when it was worth half or even less than half of what it is right now. So now they can live off their dividend stock. So enough time and investing early enough, you can take advantage of crypto's dividend, which has there's a bunch of different ways you can make money every day off your crypto. Again, there's a journey to be made, and I'm trying to figure out here and this live today in this Clubhouse how to help people take that journey more often, earlier. So here's some ideas I have. Of course, I go live. I go live once a week right now with Beginner's Mind because I do believe it's a beginner's mindset that you have to put yourself in to not feel any judgment about cryptocurrency. Just learn it. Just understand it, right? That's one thing. So going live, the problem with lives is they're an hour. I go live for an hour. Most people don't want to sit and watch something for an hour, even though they will watch Netflix for 5 hours in a row. Education is different than entertainment, right? So part of one idea I have is trying to figure out how to make more entertaining videos, entertaining, educational, shorter videos that explain the journey that most people need to go on to understand cryptocurrency fully. Of course, that's a huge effort because as a previous animator, I know how much work that really is. Another thing is just taking short clips from these lives and putting them up and making TikToks and really short clips, 30-second clips. But one of the things I think about is how much really can I educate people with 30-second clips about cryptocurrency? I don't know. So that's another thing. I'm like, okay, how could I do that? Of course, I have the Cracking Crypto Club, but that's more of like a higher touch point. I know I can't do that with everyone. Like right now I have about 20, 30,000 people between all my social media. I can't talk to each one of them individually, right? Or even in a group. You can't make a group of 30,000 people that you help at the same time. That's just not realistic. Maybe it is. I don't know. Those are the current ideas I have, right? Of course, I have the highest touch point, which is crackingcrypto.club. I have these lives. I think the problem with these lives is they're too long and not enough people are willing to just come and watch a long video. So I'm going to start trying to figure out how to make shorter versions of the videos. Another big thing I'm going to do is on Mondays, I'm going to do something called Monday Morning Quarterback, which I'm going to do short clips as short as possible where I tell you what I'm thinking about doing this week, right? And of course, I can't go too into the weeds and show you how to click through everything on those because that takes a while. This Monday, I tried to record one and just waiting for the transactions to settle because like on Ethereum, it takes like 5-10 minutes for things to happen. It took too long. The video was way long. It's like an hour and a half. I may put it for the Cracking Crypto Club if they want to watch it, but I'm going to create Monday Morning Quarterback where Monday morning I create maybe a 5-10 minute video about what I see and what I'm going to do this week. So that's another way. It's shorter than an hour. And hopefully that helps. But I really would like some Yo, hey Daniel. Oh, we got Daniel is actually gonna. Me and Daniel are gonna partner on something where we're going to. He has a platform where it helps you trade. It helps you learn how to trade without using money. So I'm gonna interview him in a few weeks about that. But I want to open up the conversation. I want to, especially on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is such a conversational thing. The thing I see is if you invest right now, there's almost 0% chance if you invest in the big ones, Bitcoin, Ethereum, that you don't 5x your money in the next year, 2 years, the most. 3 years, definitely, no doubt about it, right? So what will it take for you education wise to start thinking about, okay, what is it going to take for me to put $1,000 into Bitcoin and Ethereum, so in the next 3 years maximum, maybe even next year, you already make that money back, or get to the 5K, right? I'm trying to make sure every person who ever looks at my content makes at least 5K from understanding more through what I'm teaching. So, all right, I'm going to open up the conversation to see if anyone has any ideas of things I can do to educate people and get them going on this train. Because if I came to you in the year 1908 or whatever, the stock market was created, and said, hey, you're going to want to start putting money in here because it's going to grow 3 million%. And for generations, your family will benefit from this. Or real estate, when they first started building homes and giving mortgages, hey, you're going to want to own as much of this as possible. This is where we are with cryptocurrency. This is official. It's set. There's no way it's going back. All these innovations are not being put back in the box. So all these countries and governors and senators trying to slow crypto down, good luck spinning your wheels. There's no stopping it. Ukraine just adopted Bitcoin. El Salvador did it. Colombia's on its way. Cuba's on its way. There's a bunch of countries that are going to take on Bitcoin as a legal tender, and that process already started. The dominoes have started to drop. So there's just a matter of time. I want to just figure out what are the. Oh, I'm on mute in Clubhouse. Is that true? Can you hear me on Clubhouse? Hello? Do you hear me on Clubhouse? Huh. If you can't hear me on Clubhouse, please jump on YouTube. If not, I don't know. I guess I'm not being heard on Clubhouse. I'm going to refresh Clubhouse while we're here. So anybody type anywhere, any ideas of what I can do more of to educate you on cryptocurrency so you start putting money in. Like I said, I started with $50. So what is it going to take for you to start with $50, $10? Oh, okay. So some people could hear me. All right, so let's look at the comments. All right, so people are texting me that they can't hear me on Clubhouse. Some people are saying they can hear me on Clubhouse. All right, so I don't know what's going on with Clubhouse, but all right, on Instagram, YouTube, what are some things, Facebook, I know there's some people on Facebook that are watching. What are some things you think I should be doing to educate people? Or you specifically, what is it? Have you invested in crypto already? Are you looking to invest in crypto? What are the things you think you need to be able to be more willing to do it? So right now, sound is a bit low on Clubhouse. I'm getting a lot of Clubhouse problems. I don't know what it is. So again, maybe it's my internet. I'm not sure. But if you want to see my screen, I'm gonna start pulling stuff up while people are thinking of their answers. So one thing I'm gonna show you is how early we are in cryptocurrency. When I show you the market caps and what happens if you just invested now versus whatever other day, I'm gonna show you again. I'm gonna Monday morning quarterback it here. Okay, I guess I'm trying to log back into the Clubhouse. I think I'm having internet issues. If you can let people know, they can come to the YouTube. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on with Clubhouse. All right, so let me get to it just to not bore people who are watching. All right, So I'm pulling up on my computer the market caps currently of crypto. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, I think it's my internet. Hello, can you guys hear me on Clubhouse? Maybe it's just my internet. So I'm going to share. All right, so let's look at the current market caps of the top cryptocurrencies. So you have an idea of Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. There's two websites I really like checking out. There's CoinGecko, which is the main one I check, and then it's marketcap.com. So CoinGecko.com, CoinMarketCap.com, right? So when I look at both of those things, can you guys hear me on Clubhouse? I don't know what's going on.
Now we can.
All right. All right. So if you didn't hear me, I'm going to recap really quickly just for anybody who was on Clubhouse and didn't hear me on YouTube and everywhere else. Basically, I'm trying to figure out, because I do get people who reach out and tell me, "Hey, I'm up a lot. Thanks for creating this content." And I'm like, "Okay, what separates those people? What have I created that made those people watch and act? And what can I create to make more people watch and act?" So here's my 3 ideas so far. I'm going to create shorter Monday morning quarterback type videos where I tell you every Monday in a short 5-10 minute clip what it is I'm seeing and what it is I'm thinking of doing this week. The other thing I'm thinking of doing, of course, I go live every Wednesday for about an hour to take in questions from everybody and then just have discussions on Clubhouse. Another thing I'm thinking of doing is, of course, expanding my Cracking Crypto Club to have levels, where right now I do have the top level, which is a paid membership. I try to help people individually take advantage of crypto in group settings. Another thing I'm thinking of doing is making lower levels where people can just watch videos and they're not part of the club or just part of the Discord, things like that. But the main thing I'm thinking about is how to create shorter content that is more entertaining, because I kind of feel like educational content does not do well, right? So I'm like, okay, I have an animation background. I've done stuff for the biggest companies in the world. I should be able to figure out how to create some edutainment kind of thing where I educate people on the journey it takes to really understand cryptocurrency and take advantage of it. Wow, I keep getting kicked out of Clubhouse. I'm not sure what's going on in Clubhouse. Clubhouse kicks me out. I don't know what happened. So that's basically where I am. I'm trying to get an understanding from anybody of what they think I could be doing. All right. So anybody in the Clubhouse have any ideas that basically that would have helped you get involved earlier in cryptocurrency? That's one quick question that I can see maybe the people in here are maybe willing to answer. And then anybody watching anywhere else, type it in the comments. I want to understand, if you have invested in crypto, what would have made you invest earlier? And if you haven't invested in crypto, what would make you invest right now? So I can start trying to figure out how to create more of that type of content, because I'm telling you, the earlier you invest in anything, startups, real estate, anything, the more the gain is later, right? That's how it works. Of course, there's more risk the earlier you invest. But if we look now at the Bitcoins and Ethereums, there's no risk to Bitcoin and Ethereum anymore. So, all right, anybody who wants to talk? Anybody? All right. Let's see.
Yeah, you heard Solana was down for the last 2 days.
Yes, I have, and it's because I mean I saw it coming on the chart, but then they had a massive like the network just didn't work for like.
Yeah, I meant like down like the network, not like the
price. Oh, not the price. Yeah, so this is the thing, right? This is why I don't normally talk about coins and I don't want to be financial advice guy and say you should invest in this coin unless I'm like super sure, like I was with Matic and Poly and Ethereum and Bitcoin. I don't like doing that because that's how you can get in trouble. Somebody puts the money into that coin and that coin goes down. You know, it's like, oh, you cost me $5,000 instead of making. So that's why I really only say coins that I am looking at in a way that is almost 0% chance for them to go down. With Solana, I've been saying it for a while. Solana has been going straight up for like almost a month, right? They had to come back down at some point on price, but then the network going down, I'm surprised it hasn't gone down even more. It didn't go down much, actually. So the price hasn't gone down. But again, the overall point is understanding these things. Like how can I help you understand more about how this works? All right, so I'm getting I got a comment on the YouTube. If anybody on Clubhouse wants to comment or anywhere else, please do. All right, so for YouTube, for videos, maybe share a synopsis verbally of some articles you've run into that are new that you think is important or interesting. Not bad. That article, you can teach certain words or concepts. Not bad. All right, I can do that because I do see a bunch of content. I see a bunch of articles all the time. I try to post. I usually post the image on Twitter and Instagram. I guess what I could do is have my take on what I understand from that. That's pretty helpful. I think that could work. If you think it'll work, I'll try it. That people don't know as much about, familiarity would have made me invest earlier. All right, so that's good. That's good. So all right, I'll go. That could be something that I was doing with the shorts. My idea was to create short videos. That's an easier way than to just chop clips out of stuff like this, which is what I've been doing. I'll take a clip out of this, but then I got to watch the hour again and figure out which ones are the best clips. So it does take time versus me looking up articles and seeing articles and saying, all right, I'm going to make my hot take on this information. So that was a good one. I'm going to do that, Isabel. Thank you. So anybody in the Clubhouse, what are you seeing when it comes to like, you know, a lot of times I think it's like drinking through a fire hose, this information, like crypto is just so much information that what could make it more like drinking in glasses of water instead? That so what Isabel just gave me, that's a really good one. I can really see myself doing that. And I actually have seen people do that. I don't know. It's something about, I don't really love being on camera, to be honest. I do this live because it stays, right? I like the Clubhouse idea because it's just audio, but Clubhouse leaves right after I'm done, right? So I want some type of other format. I could also take this audio and video, reuse it. So the TikTok thing, I got to get more into selfie mode. That's the major difference, I think, of why I don't do the shorts. Because it's like selfies, and I just don't like selfies. I think. So I gotta get over that internally. Anybody else with any comments? If not, I'm gonna start showing my screen and talking to you about what I see right now. Nothing. All right. So Bitcoin is back to 48,000. Right. So when you look at the first YouTube video I ever created about Bitcoin, it was $8,000, right? 848, that's 5x return, right? Right there. So again, if you would have put in the first time I said that was Bitcoin. With Ethereum is up about 10x that same day, right? Of course, every year that goes, the percentage jump is probably going to get less, right? So maybe next year, instead of 5x, Bitcoin is 4x, 3x. Ethereum, instead of being 10x, it might be 7x, 6x. Over time, this volatility is going to settle, and there's going to be less opportunities for big gains in the bigger coins. That's just how it works. The bigger the market cap gets, the less volatility. That's where people are like, should I do Solana and other things right now? But then you look at what like Milan just said, Solana is still on a beta. It's still beta testing. It's not officially out into the world. in a way that is rock solid like Ethereum and Bitcoin are. Countries are adopting Bitcoin right now. Ethereum is being used millions of times a day at this point to do all kind of transactions. $1 billion transactions are happening on Ethereum every day. So those two are in the, the gold zone. You know, there's almost 0% chance that these things won't go higher. Let's go to the third one down. Cardano. Cardano just launched on Monday. That's how early these things are. Literally just launched on Monday. And the market cap for it is $80 billion. Let's say it works out for Cardano. And Cardano ends up doing everything it promises. And I'll use Paco's term. Let's cut the fish in half. Let's say it only does half of what it's supposed to do. Cardano 100% will become a $1 trillion company, even if they do only half of the things they're supposed to do. So going from 80 billion to $1 trillion is about a little more than 10x, right? Of course, how long does that take? That's where you got to have your own timeline, right? And think about what it is you're going to do. If you're looking at Cardano and you say, I want to put this money in and I hope next month it doubles, that's not realistic, right? There's stuff you may have to hold for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Like I was talking about Apple. Apple, I remember something, and this just happened. So this is a great story. When I was about 10, 11, 13, something like that, I was picked to be on a show. They gave me $700. And because I didn't know better, my parents they didn't know better. My parents knew technology was the future, but they didn't know about stock investing. It wasn't a thing that was taught to you in the inner city. I spent that money on clothes. If I would have put that $700 into Apple stock, I'd be a multi-millionaire right now. Of course, that's a quick antidote, but the idea of picking the right stock at that point, of course, that's tough. But now we're in a different position, right? And this weekend, me and my sons, we were in a commercial. We got chosen to be in a commercial. Me and my sons, everybody. And I told them, look, you're not going to make the same mistake I made. At least half of the money you got is going into cryptocurrency. And in 20 years, 30 years, because I did that about 30 years ago, we're going to see where that money is. Because if I would have done that, we would have been in a very different position. And I truly believe that money will at least 100x in 30 years. That's my understanding of what's going on. Because again, right now, not even 200,000 wallets exist for cryptocurrency. And there's 7 billion people on the planet. This is crazy. Like once, and another big thing, real estate. That's usually the main way people say create generational wealth, financial freedom, right? How hard is it to own real estate? You have to have a great job, a great credit score, a down payment. It's going to be much harder to start building your wealth through real estate than it is through things like cryptocurrency. And you could do a lot of the same things as you can with real estate with cryptocurrency. I borrow against my cryptocurrency to buy other coins that give me daily revenue. What does that sound like? Borrowing against your main home to buy a rental property and paying off that rental property through renters. Very, very similar concepts. But if you don't understand them, you can't take advantage of them. So I'm going to bring back to the question. All right. Anybody in the clubhouse? I want to go around the room if anybody has, because I know a lot of you have just started the journey. Some of you way more than others, and maybe some of you not at all yet. So Unique, if you want to talk, come up and have a conversation. Ozzy, if you're around, I would like your take as probably the most technologist here with the longest history of technology usage. Where are you within your cryptocurrency journey? Like, what are you seeing and what are you trying to do and have you done if you're around? If not, It's cool. All right, Ozzy's probably not around. How about you, Milan? What are you? Where are you? I know you just had a child. What are you seeing with cryptocurrency and the opportunity? And I know you're building a cryptocurrency company as well, but as an investor only, what do you think?
I think the possibilities are literally endless. It's like the physical world is basically mimicking itself in the digital world, right? So everything you could basically think of in the physical world needs to happen in the digital, right? So it's cool to see as an investor everyone making these chains that will support that need, right? Like I even came across, not to go too far into business, but came across an issue with our business where, it's invoices that need to be factored, right? And there's a company called Centrifuge who actually figured out how to use stable coins where you could take your stable coins and then use it and invoice factor by doing that. And then you'll get paid, whatever interest rate in stable coins.
So basically they take your invoice and they loan you the value of the invoice and then you pay it back once you get paid.
Yeah, and then the investors are the ones giving that money, right? So you let's say you wanted to bring your die over and you stake your die, and then let's say after the invoice is paid, you get paid that interest rate.
Yeah, so basically they're lending you the money and they're getting interest for lending the money, basically, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean see that you're right. All this stuff is happening in the real world in different ways. Crypto allows it to be done in a different way, a way that's never been possible. There's even CEOs right now in the crypto space. Check this out. There's CEOs in the crypto space, and I guess other employees too, that get paid their yearly salary by the second. What does that mean? That means that every second of the day, let's say the person makes $100,000 a year, divide that by 365, divide that by 24 hours, divide that by 60 minutes, divide that by 60 seconds. Every second of the day, their $100,000 is put into their wallet. Why is that cool? What is that? Think about this. You have access to your money faster, right? So imagine people that get paid every week or every 2 weeks. They have to wait 2 weeks to have access to their money to do things with their money. But if you're getting your money every second of the day, you have access to your money to make it grow faster, right? And that was not possible in the old school way. And this is just one of thousands of things that I see every day that I'm like, this is going to change everything. Like every business, every investment, every investor, venture capitalism is going to work very different because of cryptocurrency. Like I already see it. I'll even tell you another thing. The stock market. I bet you anything, and this is probably the first person, I'm probably one of the first people to ever say this. I'm going to have to make a short video about this. I bet you any amount of money one day owning stocks will be an NFT. So why is that? Right now, let's say I'm a stock market person and I have Microsoft, let's say Apple again. I buy it today in the open market. Apple doesn't make anything from that. I just bought it off somebody else who owned the shares, right? So let's say today, I don't know what it is. I say, I'm willing to pay you X amount for the share. You sell it to me. That's what Robinhood and all these apps are doing. They're basically saying, if a person is willing to sell it, are you willing to buy it? And if you say, yes, you are, they'll sell it to you. But Apple doesn't make anything from that. So the shares are being bought and sold all day, every day. And Apple is not making any of that money. But if they were NFTs, Apple will make a percentage on every resale of their stock forever. Think about that. So I'm going to give you another example. Gary V. I don't know if you guys know who Gary Vaynerchuk is. Gary Vaynerchuk created something called VFriends. It's his own IP universe of the stock market. I mean, he has like his own character set. He created it. He raised $50 million in like a week because people bought the NFTs. He was on a show recently I watched or listened to. He said every day he's making $40,000 from the resale percentages of VFriends. Think about that. If you are Apple, wouldn't it make more sense to put your stock as an NFT than a stock in the stock market? Because you don't make anything from the stock being traded. but you can make a percentage of every time that stock is traded. That's 1,000% going to happen. When it happens, we'll see. I'm sure the SEC is going to fight that like Mike Tyson, but I cannot see a reason why that would not happen. Why would any company not want that to happen? Right? So that's just two quick things that I just watching the crypto space moving around in the blockchains, playing around with every single blockchain I see. I just continue to see how business is going to change and how everybody's going to be in this whenever they get to it. Some people are going to be forced into it by the time it's too late, right? It's kind of like buying homes right now. If you try to buy a home in Manhattan right now, I remember Harlem. I grew up in Bronx, but I went to school in Harlem. They were giving away properties in Harlem. Now you can't buy a property in Harlem. It's millions and millions of dollars. They were giving them away for free at one point or very little money. Same thing is going to happen with crypto. In 5-10 years, there's people that believe every Bitcoin will be $1 million. And it's 48,000 right now. People are like, ooh, that's a little too much. So again, the earlier, that's why I'm doing this stuff. And I don't think I'm getting enough feedback to help me help you understand this more. All right, another one. Sometimes it gets hard to process the platforms you use because there's so many individual sites and platforms, kind of gets lost and merged into another one. That's interesting.
Yep, I agree with that.
All right, so give me some more feedback on what that means, because are you saying like the Coinbase, Cash App kind of platforms?
If I got their question correctly, you know how you had to walk me through the process of the wallet, and you were and there's times where you're describing stuff that you're saying you have, like I said, if they're describing right, you have to go to different websites, whether it be to monitor or to look or to borrow or to, so at some point, like, it gets a little, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but for me, it gets a little between overwhelming and confusing on after understanding like the basis, because I understood the basis, but it could also be that I don't expose myself on a daily basis. So
I get what you mean about the MetaMask. You're basically really talking about what I call going into the matrix, right? So there's platforms that are easy B2C, which is Coinbase, Cash App, Gemini, right? So those platforms are meant to just connect to your bank account. It pulls the money in and you can buy crypto. That's the easiest platform. Where what Sylvia and Isabel on the YouTube is getting at is, and they're both part of the Cracking Crypto Club, so they're going deeper into the matrix, right? The matrix, what I mean is when you send your money from a centralized organization, which is Coinbase, Cash App, Gemini, into decentralized finance world, you have to go through a wallet. So actually, Milan was one that gave me some feedback where maybe the first wallet you guys should start on is the Coinbase wallet. It might be easier to understand the connection between centralized and decentralized in that way. MetaMask is much, at least from what I've seen so far, I haven't really done Coinbase wallet. I got to check it out just to understand it more. With MetaMask, you could put all these different networks in it. And by doing that, you can jump around different blockchains by just drop down menu. So when I go from Polygon to Avalanche to Ethereum, I just go to the drop down menu and choose which blockchain I want to be in. And then I go to a website that's on that blockchain. So I think that's what you mean, right? Is that what you mean? Like going between the different blockchains in like a MetaMask, Sylvia? Or Isabel?
I that too.
Yeah. So give me more, because I really want to understand this question.
All the protocols that are available, right? There's just so many things you can go into, so it's kind of hard to know what to go to first. Right. So I went through like the basic stuff to understand what I was buying and where I was going, and then I guess what I'm trying to say is like there's no, it doesn't feel like there's really like a 1, 2, 3 step. It almost feels like once you enter, then it's like a cloud of different stuff that you have to follow. I know that I've been listening, and it's not necessarily that I can't fully follow, but you know, at some point it gets a little confusing when you start talking about how you're borrowing from your own stuff to then buy stuff that comes to a daily basis to then, like, so I guess it's the internal transactions that can also happen, and how to monitor those things, and you know, how does that happen, like, because I bought and I see it and I know how to monitor, like, if it goes up and it goes down, but that's as far as, like, for me, that's as far as it goes, because after that it gets overwhelming.
So what she's saying, okay, so let me say back so I can make sure I understand. You're saying sometimes I bring up topics that are super advanced, like borrowing. Borrowing is an advanced topic, and I'm kind of confusing you to the stages to get to the borrowing, right? Like, because in the beginning, if you are just buying a coin, and let's say buying an NFT, you don't need to borrow. You can buy the coin, send it to another wallet, buy the NFT. But when I say I borrow off of my bank, what I'm saying, I'm going to try to say it in the simplest way, is crypto allows you to use your crypto as collateral, just like a home. This is kind of what I meant about, it's very similar to real estate. But where you can go wrong is you can buy real estate that doesn't make you money, right? So let's say I took $1,000 loan and I bought Dogecoin today, and Dogecoin goes down. That's not really revenue generating, so it's not going to help me pay back my loan. So sometimes I talk about that, and it is, maybe there's advanced topics and less advanced topics, and I shouldn't mix them. Is that maybe what I'm hearing? And then if you want, yeah. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. So maybe there's a way of saying, all right, this content here is beginner level. This content is medium, intermediate, and this is advanced. Okay. That's good. All right, so that's good feedback. And that's why I'm doing this. Like, I would have never really thought of that, because I'm just trying to put out as much information as possible. It's hard for me to go back to the beginning and understand what I was trying to remember, what I was trying to understand.
But the thing is that you have submerged yourself in the information, which is great, because that's how you're able to bring us the information. But that doesn't mean that we're all submerged every single day. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. You're right.
When we get to you, we basically have to pay catch up for what you've done, like, for I don't know how many days.
Yeah. So Angel Lattimore said, you should make a Cryptos for Dummies book. Where do I sign up?
For real, I'm with it. I'm so with
it. That's good. All right, so let me see. And then add NFTs on top of that. It's like we are studying as generalists in crypto, instead of generalists and specialized on any particular thing at a time. So like Aave, Trader Joe, MetaMask. Yeah, yes, read the coin to borrow money, etc. Okay, so there's people that are just co-signing what you're saying. Isabel is co-signing it. So okay, so what you guys are getting at is I have to figure out how to create levels of information, right? So beginner's level, which is understanding the platforms more. So let's start there. I saw someone else's mic went off. I don't know. Did somebody else want to say anything? No? All right. So platforms. So, okay, let's say I was going to try to do that. Let's brainstorm this idea right now while I have you here. So if I said, which I did create a video on my Instagram where I showed you how to buy from, I think it was Cash App, Coinbase. Like I went through step by step how to buy. But you're saying that part is not hard. That part.
That's how I did that, by looking at your video.
Okay, so that video helped on that beginner level. Yeah. So are you saying that the next level of the borrowing, so you're kind of in the intermediate level then, if you're able to right now go and buy on Coinbase now, you feel comfortable doing that kind of stuff now?
I mean, if you based on your instruction, if you go say, and like the other day you said to go buy Solana, so I'm just waiting for like to go ahead to go buy Solana.
Yeah, so all right, so that level you're good at. Everybody kind of good at that level. Like, again, that's why in the beginning I was like, okay, I need to really show up.
I feel like I don't know if I just follow the instructions. Like you told me to go to like Cash App or where's the other one that I use?
Coinbase.
Coinbase. So I just go to those and I purchase it. I don't really like. As for monitoring, like you've shown us before, the way that you monitor it to determine if that's what you're talking about, then no.
No, I'm not even really talking about that, and I'll show you what she's talking about on the screen as we talk. But basically, what she's talking about is I look at this chart called the MACD, which is it's a trading and that's another thing. I know I'm kind of going into like trader world, so I know that's not for everyone. But basically, this MACD, let me just show it big on the screen on YouTube. It shows when dark red is usually drops in the price. Dark green usually ups in the price. So that's why when I tell people ask me all the time, is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? I tell them, I'll look here and I'll say, it looks like it's gonna go dark red soon. So that's like Solana. When she just said, I'm waiting to learn to buy Solana. If you see, Solana has 2 dark red days in a row, and as you see, it's dropped, right? So it's probably gonna drop more. That's why when I tell people, look, based off history, but again, just based off history doesn't mean it could tell you the past, right? It's just possible that this will happen. So that's where, again, nobody can time this market. You can just do things based on what you know. So I'm not really even talking about that. I'm talking about, and I think this has been good. I thank you all for jumping on and trying to answer for me. I have to basically make like stepping stones, right? So first step is buy on the major platforms that are easy. Don't buy on Robinhood. Nobody buy on Robinhood because it's not cryptocurrency on Robinhood. All right, so things like that. Okay, now you bought cryptocurrency. Next step is to, if you want to, go into the matrix, right? And the matrix means you can get the Coinbase wallet, you can get the MetaMask wallet, the Phantom wallet if you want to do Solana. There's going to be other wallets for like Cardano and all these different things. So each one of those blockchains are their own worlds. Literally, they're called ecosystems that I can go deeper into as I learn them. Like right now, I'm getting deep into the Avalanche ecosystem because they're about to give out $180 million for free. So I'm going to be in there trying to get my free money, right? And I want as many people to be in there trying to get their free money as well. So maybe that's where I start too, like showing you how to go into the Avalanche ecosystem. And that's what I did Monday, actually. Leah, did you have something to add?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, so you mention these things and you say, but I don't know even how to get into it. And I have downloaded MetaMask and got so frustrated that I didn't do anything with it. It's sitting in my apps and I'm just like.
So do you download it on your phone or your computer?
I do, yes.
Your phone. All right. So yes. It's a little harder on the phone, but I know most people don't use computers as much. So I know I get that. So part of what I should do is just go phone. Because a lot of times, look, what I'm doing right now is I'm sharing my computer screen. So most people are like, yeah, but I'm on a phone. So that's another thing I definitely have to keep in mind, that not everybody is doing it on the computer. But there's major things that are not on the phone. Certain things, like I'll tell you, Avalanche, I tried something on the phone and it didn't work. Because guess where all these people are who are creating this stuff at first? They're on computers, this nerd stuff. So part of it is I have to test that, and okay, that's good feedback. So make phone focused content around jumping the different blockchains. All right, that's good. That's good feedback. I could create a video about that. And I have, but I gotta put them in places where it's simpler to understand and see them. There's actually a video in the Cracking Crypto Club. I know, Leah, you're a member too, of me walking somebody through adding a network to their MetaMask. I think it's one of the first videos. I'll send you it to see if it helps you. And maybe I put that out in a different way because I don't want to show people's money publicly. So I'll put it out in a different way publicly. So that's good information. So you all want to really get to the good stuff, but you're saying right now the entrance into the matrix is not clear. That's pretty much what I'm hearing right now.
Okay. No, once you get there, you get lost.
That's the point. That's the point of the matrix, really, right? Like at the end of the day,
it's like AP
calculus. But again,
I didn't even make it to algebra.
So that's good. That's good. Okay, so all right. The bank thing is what I knew was tough. I knew that's why I created the group. I was trying to do it on lives, and I knew I was just talking to the air because it was just so complicated. I said, all right, how could I make a group where I can like help people, right? Because it's really hard to do that on YouTube because people have to show their money, and I know people don't want to be showing their money in public, right? So I get that, and I'll do a better job on the Cracking Crypto Club to like work individually with you guys. So but first things first, I want to try to make sure at the bare minimum you're understanding the overall. Do you feel like you understand blockchain and understand what's the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum? Have you guys done that kind of homework yet and feel like you understand it? Anybody anywhere?
I did that, and my thing is that I have to continue exposure. I can't just like do it once and then remember it forever. So I would be lying to you right now if I said I knew the difference of any of those things.
How about you, Leah? Have you done the homework enough to feel like you?
I started doing the homework, but I'm like Sylvia. If I don't repeat it, it's out of the brain.
So I guess I really can't help with that, right? That comes to me as like a personal interest level, right? You can't really the big thing I'm hoping to do with all this content is like give you the internal motivation to say, I better do this as soon as possible because I feel the same way. Again, I saw Bitcoin, it was 30 cents. It's $48,000. Every time I look at that number, I'm like, God, what a fucking idiot.
That's why I showed up. That's why I showed up today.
So to me, what do you think would motivate you to do that? That's probably the main question here. Like
that last conversation we had when you told me what you did.
Oh yeah, okay. So okay, what I'm gonna tell, I won't say the actual numbers, but last week I did something and I made more money in a week than I normally make in 2 months because I was looking at a coin that I told everybody about last week. Actually, I told everybody on the last live. I've been looking at this coin called Joe, Joe, and it's been going up and down, up and down. And the first time I did it, I made a good amount of money. And the second time I did it, I made more money. And I was telling Sylvia about the specifics of that. I definitely don't want to talk about it live because I don't want to tell everybody how much money I made. But that came from doing a lot of homework. I can't tell you it was like just 10 minutes of work where I went and I looked. There was many hours of research, seeing things, spending money badly, spending money right, losing money, making money before I was ready for that opportunity. And I saw it and I jumped on it and it worked. Right? But again, getting there has probably been hundreds, if not thousands of hours of research, so and I understand not everybody is going to do that, right? So this part of me is like, okay, I know everybody is not going to dive in the way you have, but what could I make them do more to go from just dipping their toe to dipping their leg in and starting to like take advantage? Because these times right now with crypto, it goes up and then it comes down for a little while. And right now we're on an up. And that's where I'm like, man, I really got to figure out, because what's going to happen now is if you don't take advantage of the up and then you start really starting to take advantage and it starts going down, which is what happened last time when crypto was at 68,000, when Bitcoin was 68,000. And then people start, oh my God, I got to buy it because that's 68,000. And then it drops and they're like, oh, this was all fake. Instead of understanding, they were looking at it as like the casino. They really weren't understanding the true investment opportunity. They just were like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million tomorrow because I put $1,000 today. You know, it's not fully understanding the whole thing. But I tell you right now, and there's two stats that I'm going to keep repeating. One is cryptocurrency has made the most millionaires in the shortest amount of time out of every other asset in the history of all asset classes. That's huge, right? But then I'll tell you, what would you say is the biggest innovation in our lifetimes? The internet, right? Everybody would think it's the internet. The internet, at the height of the growth of the internet, was growing 68% a year. That means users were jumping online at a growth rate of 68% a year. Cryptocurrency right now, as we talk, is over 200% a year growth. The internet was never that high ever. Cryptocurrency is double, almost triple that speed of adoption. This is going to happen fast. And if you don't do it early enough, you might get left behind. You might look up and say, Bitcoin is $1 million. I can't afford $1 million. You know, and I'm not saying that that can't happen to me either. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to allow my lack of time spent to understand this to be the reason, right? It might be that I just didn't have enough money to buy enough coins. That could be a reason. But it's not going to be because I didn't put in the time, right? And that's where I can't really help you with that part of it, I don't think. All I can do is part of what I'm trying to do with the Cracking Crypto is I'm trying to shorten the amount of time you have to spend. And that's a question for the crypto group, the Cracking Crypto group. How could I shorten the time it takes you to learn this? Of course, I go live for an hour every week, and we're up on that hour. But even an hour, right? Like some people don't have an hour to try to understand stuff. So that's why I'm thinking I'm going to start creating shorter videos that take time. They take more time. Like it takes me less time to go live for an hour and explain stuff to you than it takes to create a 5-minute video. It takes a lot more time, actually, right? So the idea is I was hoping is to create more conversational back and forth. And today gave me a good one, actually. I think creating more beginner content, which is good. What Angel said, maybe a beginner's crypto for dummies, maybe downloadable PDF for free that you give me your email address and I'll have you download it. You can download it. All right. I don't understand blockchain and I watched 100 videos. All right. So I'm going to try to explain blockchain really quickly. And if there's nobody else that has any questions, you know, maybe I'll end it there, or maybe you'll have questions once I explain the blockchain. All right. So the blockchain is probably the biggest innovation since the internet, even bigger than mobile phones. There's other ones, but I won't bore you. Why? Trust. What is one of the most biggest human problems? Trust, right? Like for people to trust each other, they need lawyers, they need banks, they need to pay people, right? The blockchain solves trust through technology. How does it do that? By saying, okay, when this thing happens, whatever it is we say is about to happen, once it happens, instead of just me and you trusting each other that it happened, we're going to put that on 100,000 people's computers. So nobody has to worry about, do I trust me and you? Now it's a part of the world. Everybody's computer that is mining cryptocurrency has that interaction on their computer. So I can never say this didn't happen because it's on 1,000 computers, 100,000 computers. That's the blockchain. So when they call it the blockchain, what it is a block of information gets put into a chain of multiple computers around the world of people who are mining crypto. So these miners, they're basically taking all these transactions and they're writing them to the blockchain for you. And that's how they make their money, right? That's what the fee is. That fee, whenever you pay for an NFT or you do anything, that fee you're paying the miners. So when you write a block of information, that block could be Miguel sent Angel $5 of Bitcoin. Miguel bought NFT 100 of whatever. That is written to the blockchain, and now every block, every computer that has this blockchain history has it. So there's no way of ever coming back and saying this didn't happen. So now that we have that blockchain understood, there's different blockchains, right? So Bitcoin is its own blockchain. Whenever you send Bitcoin, you send it in the Bitcoin blockchain. You pay the Bitcoin gas fee. It's not, I don't know if they call it gas fee, but it's a fee. And they write the information to the Bitcoin blockchain. Ethereum, same thing. If you buy an NFT, you send money, you buy a coin, it writes it to the Ethereum blockchain. And to write it to the Ethereum blockchain, you pay the Ethereum gas fee in the coin of that blockchain. So you need Ethereum to write to the Ethereum blockchain. You need Bitcoin to write to the Bitcoin blockchain. You need Avalanche to write to the Avalanche blockchain. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. I know I'm trying to explain it as simply as possible.
Yes.
It does. It does. Awesome. All right. Any questions based on that, though? Any questions that did that create any extra new questions?
I was just thinking about El Salvador and then accepting the Bitcoin. What your thoughts on that are?
I think it's the first domino to drop. I think they are going to benefit greatly from doing that. Basically, they just put out something that said they're not going to tax people on the gains of their crypto. They're not going to tax people on the income they make through crypto. That is going to be a place where a lot of innovators are going to say, maybe I need to set up shop there, not America, because America is treating crypto like a stepchild, like whatever, and the idea of that is killing the innovation. Like even me being in New York, I'm in New York and I can't take advantage of all the things crypto allows because I'm in New York and New York is stifling that innovation, right? So El Salvador saying, not only are we going to open it, we're going to invite innovation here. I posted it on Instagram the other day. I think it's going to become Wakanda. I think people are just going to go there, set up shop, innovate ridiculously because now there's a place where the government is not trying to stop it. They're trying to help it. That hasn't been possible. There hasn't been one country that says, yes, let's help this happen until El Salvador. And once El Salvador said it, a whole bunch of other countries said it. And the Ukraine just said it. And that's huge because that means now Europe is going to start having that domino effect, just like South America has started to. America might be the last one to get in because America has the top spot. Doesn't benefit us to take advantage of crypto because we already have the dominant position financially through our currency. But that's going to be a hindrance to people in America, right? We're going to have to wait till America jumps on board. And to me, that's scary and it's not going to happen for me. I'm not going to allow that to happen. So I hopefully I answered that question. So basically, it's a tracking log of all crypto platforms such as Bitcoin, Ethereum. Yes, it tracks everything that happens. So eventually one day you will sell your home as an Ethereum blockchain transaction, maybe Bitcoin transaction, maybe some other coin that doesn't even exist yet. That's another thing to understand. We are so early, and I got to live this before. That's why I'm so into it, and I'm diving in as hard as I am. Like Sylvia said, I've like immersed myself in it because I saw this happen before, and I didn't take advantage because I knew I didn't know better. What that time was when the internet was becoming a thing. I graduated from college, and I saw this internet thing is the future, but I didn't understand how to take advantage of it other than learning how to use it to make money as an employee. So I learned how to code. I learned how to build websites, how to do technical tasks. But I didn't invest in Google, Facebook, and that's what I should have been doing, right? So this time, I'm not making that same mistake. I'm investing in the Googles, the Facebooks, but I'm also learning how to interact with them on a technical level. I won't bore you on the technical stuff, but that's why I'm so gung-ho about making this content. I've literally never seen an opportunity ever for anyone to take advantage of an innovation easier than with cryptocurrency. You can literally buy $1 worth of Ethereum, and in a year that could be worth $5, $10 versus, hey, go learn how to code a website. That's much more technical than downloading MetaMask. Trust me, I did it, right? So that's why I'm so gung-ho and making sure as many people as possible text me back like that person yesterday saying, thank you, because I jumped based on your videos and now I'm up $5,000. And that person, if they keep that, that's going to go a lot more. It's going to go a lot more. And there's some people that are up hundreds of thousands of dollars based on listening to me, right? So the idea, again, I didn't invent none of this stuff, but I'm trying to educate people on the opportunity of it. And I don't think it'll be too late. I think our whole lives, cryptocurrency will grow. Bitcoin has a limited amount of coins, and they're not going to be stopped printing until all of us are dead. So it's going to go up forever. But in the beginning, again, like I said, early investors make the most money in anything, in stock, in real estate, in crypto. So the earlier you put money in, the more your return will be if it works out. But how does a Bitcoin not work out now when multiple countries are using it as legal tender? How does Ethereum not work out when billions and billions of dollars are being used on it and stored on it? I don't really see how those two things do not continue to grow. They're not going to grow as fast as some of those coins below, but some of those coins below can grow really fast and then fade away, like MySpace, right? MySpace was the first big platform, but Facebook came around and now MySpace doesn't exist. So this is where you have to look at it as both things. It's investing, but it's also technology. So how I do it is I come at it from an investment standpoint, but then I go use the technology. And I say, all right, what do I think is going to happen here? Do I think NFTs are going to come here? Do I think the gas fee is a little too high to do games? Do I think the speed is too slow to do games? Because everything is going to be in here. Everything. Right now, if you don't know it, there's games where you can make actual money by playing games. You don't think every game in the future is going to have to do that? Why would you play a game that you don't make money in when you can play a game that you do? It's just not going to happen. Once this hits, every business that hasn't taken, just like the internet, right? There was a time where people were like, oh, that internet thing is crazy. I'm not making a website. Now, if you don't use the internet, you don't have a company. That's what's going to happen with the blockchain. It's just maybe 10, 20 years from now. But think about that. Think about in 20 years when all these market caps are 1,000 times what they are right now, how much money you could be making, right? If you put in the right coin, and now it's worth 10,000 times more than when you did it, you have more money, a lot more money, right? So that's why I want to, and I'm glad, thank you all for jumping on here today. And I know you out of time. Can you explain Tory Lane's situation with the NFT sales? All right, last one. I do got to run. I got to pick up my sons from school. All right, so Tory Lanez put out an NFT. But interestingly, how he did it, he didn't use the blockchain up front. That was really smart. Why did he not do that? Because the way he did it was, he said, I'm putting out 1 million NFTs for $1. If he would have put those NFTs out in Ethereum's blockchain, he would have had to pay the gas fee to mint all 1 million NFTs. The gas fee on Ethereum is pretty high right now. The lowest I've seen it in months is about $50. So that means he would have to spend $50 million to mint his NFTs and then sell them. Not good business, right? So what he did was he made it so you bought the dollar with your credit card or debit card. Now you own the NFT, but to claim it, you need to mint it yourself to the blockchain. So you pay the gas fee, right? So now he made his $1 million. And now if you want to put it on the blockchain of Ethereum, you have to send it there and you pay that gas fee. So now whoever it is, they spend that $50, $100 to mint it. The beauty of it though, for him though, is now in that smart contract, he has a resale percentage. So now people started selling it. They bought it for $1. Somebody says, I'll buy it for $10. Now that person that bought it for $1, they probably didn't make all their money back because of the gas fee, but they made $9. Tory Lanez has a percentage in there. So I think it's probably 10%. So Tory Lanez just made $1 too. So every time that NFT resells, Tory Lanez will get a percentage of that sale. That's what NFTs do. Because in the contract on the blockchain, you can't change it. It says every time this is sold, send 10% of the sale to this wallet address. That's why NFTs are going to change everything. Because everything you can do that with, you're going to want to do that with, right? If you know you could buy your house, or the first time you build your house, you say, okay, every time this house is sold forever, I'm going to make money on it. Why wouldn't you do that, right? Of course you're going to do that. So everything's going to end up being an NFT. It's just a matter of time too. Of course, we're early. So hopefully this was good. I educated you on some things. I'm going to look back at this, take the parts that helped you guys, make shorter content around it. And look out for my Monday morning quarterback. Monday morning, I'm going to get on live. I'm not going to do live. I'm going to do a quick edit. I'll try to make a 5-10 minute video about what I see and what I'm going to do. And definitely, if you want further one-on-one-ish group coaching, definitely check out crackingcrypto.club. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully, you're taking advantage. At least buy $10 of Bitcoin or Ethereum. What you said?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your days, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, bye.